All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Coach Matt here, ready for some strength flow. Hopefully you are as well. We're going to start actually in a standing position. Crazy. We're going to take those feet out nice and wide. We're just going to work some kind of lateral squats. All right, so we're just going to drop those hips down and stand it up. We're going to load into each side individually to start with. All right, so really focusing on one side first, kind of feeling out that hip, see where we are with it. Lower yourself down, hopefully able to kind of deepen that stretch and that depth each rep. As we go deeper into these reps, you should go deeper into that squat. That's the goal. We're going to go a couple more this side. So start to feel that other leg stretch out. Let's go last one. All right, we're going to go to that other side. Squatting down, feel that difference. Certainly in that lengthened leg, feel that stretch, very much needed. There we go. We'll do about 3 or 4 more loading into this side. Again, progressing deeper and deeper into each rep here. We're just getting ourselves warmed up. All right. And bring those feet into our kind of squat stance. We're going to start with a hinge, hip hinge going backwards. All right, so this is kind of like a stiff leg deadlift or RDL. And then we're going to bend those knees so we come kind of into a squat position. All right, we'll go ahead and stand that up and do it again. Hips go back. This is our hinge at our hips. And then we're going to hinge at those knees. All right, stand it up. We're going to do 2 more of these. Hip hinge and then knee hinge. Kind of working those joints individually. Working on some body control there. Boom and boom. All right, so we're going to do that again, just with a little added movement in there. So we're going to go hips back. We're going to go knees. And then we're just going to reverse that. Knees come back up. So we're back into that hinge and then unhinge. Okay? So it's going to be hips, knees, knees, hips. 2 more on that one. Hips go back, stretch those hamstrings, bend those knees, chest is looking upwards, right? Extend those knees, chest looking back down to the ground, and then we're going to drive those hips forward to unhinge those hips. One last time, hips go back, bend those knees, extend those knees, extend those hips. All right, feeling pretty good in that hip region, hopefully. And we're going to drop down into a good deep squat here, wherever that may be for you. It may be all the way to the ground, it may be all the way to a chair. Whatever that may be, find that spot and meet me in it. We're just going to hang out here for a minute. Again, just working to open up those hips. I like to put those elbows on the inside of those knees, get a little butterfly action, opening up those hips from the inside. Typically, you want to hold that nice kind of tall posture. Think about reaching the top of your head to the ceiling. Chest stays nice and upright. Trying to get those feet flat on the ground as well. You may need to take a wider stance. May need to take a more narrow stance, wherever that is for you. You're going to hold here about 10 more seconds. You can wiggle around down there if you'd like. And we'll go ahead and bring that up. All right, let's shake it out. Let's come down to the ground. We're going to work a little bit of primal position. So our primal position is those hands nice and spread out on the ground. Those fingers spread out, so as much of that hand in contact with the ground as possible. Those knees are underneath those hips. Those toes are tucked underneath. We're going to put pressure into those toes and lift those knees. All right, all 4 primal position right here. Just work to engage the ground with all 4 of those points. Pulling those abs in nice and tight. We're going to take that right leg, swing it up underneath, and coming up the left side. This is what we call a side kick through. All right, so we're in a nice little 3-point stance here with both of our feet and our hand. In my case, my right hand. We're going to pull that back to primal. We're going to go to the same side again, kicking through. Trying to again extend that leg. We like length in this class. Pulling back up underneath. One last time, same side, kicking through. Create length through that leg, strong through that down support arm, and come back. Let's go up to the other side, left leg coming through, create that length. Back up to primal. Kicking through, left side, left leg. Back to base. And last time, kicking through, squeeze that upper back if you can. And back to primal. Go ahead and bring those knees down, shake those arms out. All right, we're gonna add one more element to those kick throughs. We call it bridge. So we're gonna get down back to that primal. We're gonna use that right leg to kick through again. All right, you see in this position. We're gonna take this left hand and we're gonna reach that up. Those hips are gonna come up with us. We're gonna create a nice long line from fingertips. We're gonna bring that back down, back to base. All right, two more times, same side, kicking through. Bridge that up. I am driving through this left foot here, squeezing those glutes, back down, back to base. One last time, kick it through, drive those hips up, back down, back to base. You know what's coming, flip it to the other side, the left leg, kick through, driving those hips up, squeeze those glutes, back down to base. Left leg again, kicking through. Drop it up, back down to base, and last one, kicking through, bridge high, back down to base, and relax. All right, that'll be our warm-up. Feel good about that. So now we're gonna kind of work a little bit more dynamic movements here. That primal position is gonna be our base for most of these things. So we're going to start in our, I'm not going to start in plank position. So we're going to go from our plank position. We're going to push back into a pike or a down dog. It's hot in here. All right. So from this position, we're going to take that left hand and we're going to touch that left toe. And then we're almost, if you can. Think about kind of grabbing that toe and bringing that up with your hand. All right, if that's a little too complicated, we can just touch, plank, front step. Either of those, okay? When we get into that front step position, we're gonna drop that back knee, where we are then in a half kneeling position, all right? We are going to windmill those arms up and coming back almost like a peaceful warrior position if you've done yoga. We're going to swing those arms back down and basically just reverse that. Bring that knee back up, 7 back into plank. We're going to do that same side one more time. We're going to push back into that pike. The left hand is going to touch that left toe. We're going to bring both of those up into our front step. We're going to drop that back knee down, sit ourselves up into a half kneeling position. Which side is from the front. All right. We're going to windmill those arms up and reaching back into a nice little peaceful warrior. Windmill those back around. Bring both those hands down next to your front foot. Lift that back knee, stepping back into our plank. All right, we're gonna go for that other side. I'm gonna scoot it on my mat a little bit. We're gonna press up into pike. Right hand to right toe. Both of those are gonna come up into our front step. Dropping that back knee down, up into our half kneeling. Typically that windmill, I'm going to start with whatever knee is down. I'm going to windmill that arm up, other arm comes up, and we're leaning, think about it, kind of straight backwards. Windmill those back around, bring that back knee up, stepping that foot back. Let's go again, high pike, Right hand to right toe. Both of those come forward. Dropping that knee down, half kneeling. Windmill back, peaceful warrior. Windmill those back around. Bring that knee up and stepping back. All right, we're gonna go one more time each side. We're gonna start with that left side, a little bit more fluid. Pike to toe tap, bring those up. Knee goes down, windmill those arms back. Bring back forward, back into plank. Pike it up, right to right, step it up. Drop that knee down, swing it around, and bring it out. Let's go one more time. Pike it up, left to left, bring it up. Knee down, windmill those arms, peaceful warrior. Back into that plank position. Pike, right to right, step it up. Drop that knee down, swing it around, peaceful warrior. Back around, into plank, and rest. I know there's a big speed difference between that intro and the action, but I think you can handle it. All right, take a quick little break. We're gonna hop back up to our feet, a little bit more slower pace one, and we're gonna work kind of like those Kong squats that we did with that hip hinge and that knee hinge. Kind of plays into this one, being able to isolate those points. So we're gonna start in a standing position, those feet underneath our hips. We're gonna take, I'm gonna try to mirror. We're gonna go our left leg, all right? We're gonna step that out to the left. We're going to load into that like we did in that warm-up, okay? In this position, we're going to hinge those hips so that chest is looking at the ground, all right? We're going to extend those hips back up, push off this foot back to standing, all right? Same side again, lunging, dropping into that deep lunge. That chest stays up, all right? We're going to hinge at those hips. Bring that chest down to the ground. Hinge that back up. And drive back up to stand. Do one more time from the side here. Left, stepping out. Alright, loading into it. Notice that chest again, still straight up. Gonna hinge that chest going down. You notice those hips go backwards. Back is parallel to the ground. We're gonna open those hips back up and drive back to standing. Drove a little too hard on that one. All right, we're going to go to the other side. 3 times on this one. Big lunge, loading into it. Hinging that chest down. Opening those hips. Back standing. All right, this is that control that we talked about. Be able to find those, those specific articulation points of those hips, those knees, kind of finding our balance and how to control each point. And pushing up. We'll go one more time this side. Sinking that down. Hips. Open that back up. And drive it up. Alright, that was a nice little break, right? Cool. So we're going to go one more here. Remember how to do this one. So we're going to kind of break this down piece by piece. Same hinge that we've been working on, right? Chest is looking down towards the ground. We're going to roll that back all the way down to a nice little forward fold. Those hands should go to the ground or as close to it as possible. If you need to bend those knees, you can to get those hands on the ground. We're going to walk those hands out into a high plank position. We've seen this before. All right. We're going to walk those toes into our pike position. All right. We're going to drop those knees into our primal. All right, got a little close on that one. So we're going to, in this position, we're going to take left hand to right knee and back, right to left and back. Repeat, left to right, back, right to left, and back. All right. From there, we're going to sit those hips back, almost like a child's pose. We'll call it a loaded beast. And bring that back into primal. One more time, sending that back into our loaded beast. And back into that primal. We're going to hop those feet to those hands. So we kind of end up in that deep squat that we kind of worked on earlier. Put those hands hopping back into all fours, our primal. And one more time, hopping those feet to our hands into that deep squat. And we'll stand that up. I know that was a long one. We're going to do that all over again. Don't you worry. So I'm just going to turn around because I made it to the end of my mat. So, hips hinge back. With me so far? Good. We're going to roll that down into a nice extended forward fold. We're going to walk those hands out to a high plank. We're going to walk those feet in to a pike. We're going to bend those knees, get down into our primal, wherever that position is comfortable. All right. We're going to do 4 alternating knee taps. Reaching across that body. Then we're going to do 2 loaded beasts. We're just sitting back, extending those arms. And then 2 times, hopping those feet to our hands to that deep squat. And then standing it up. All right. We're going to go a couple more times through this one. We're going to do 2 more kind of slow rounds, and then we'll do 2 or 3 kind of faster rounds. Okay? So, hinging over. Rolling down, stretching those hamstrings. We're going to hang out here for just a second. We're going to walk those arms out. When you walk out, I want you to really try to focus on keeping those heels down. Get a good stretch through the backside. Walk those toes in. Dropping those knees down to primal. Get those 4 alternating taps. If you could hold that tap for an extra second, really challenge that core, that'd be great. We're going to load that beast. Back to primal. Load it for a second time. Back to primal. Hopping up into that deep squat. Try and get that chest up if you can. Back to primal. And one more, hopping up to that deep squat. And stand it up. All right, one more time, slow motion here, and then we'll kind of really put the pace on it. All right, hopefully feeling pretty mobile through those hips. Yeah? All right, take that nice hinge, roll it down. Again, hold here for a second when we walk out. Keep those heels down. Walk it out into a plank. Walking those toes in. Drop it into primal. We've got 4 strong knee taps. 2 times, load the beast. Hop it up into that deep squat. And return. Hop it up into that deep squat. And stand. Alright, we're going to do 2 quick rounds of these. Try to put it a little bit more flow style. Alright, if you need to hold on to any of these positions for a little bit longer, please do so. It is your practice. Make it your own. Alright, so if you want to follow along with me, I will be calling these out. Maybe a little bit faster, but we're here to play around, right? So let's take that hinge rolled on down. Walk it on out. Those feet are going to follow right into that high pike. Break it down into our primal. Knee taps. Again, we're going to try to hold for a second still on each of these. Not a bigger challenge. Load and return 2 times into that deep squat. And stand. One more time. If you're hanging around with me, load that hinge, roll it down. Again, the goal here is to be nice and fluid with these movements. Trying to roll one right into the next. will slow down for these knee touches though, because stability is the point on those. All right. We'll finish up that last one wherever you are. And that's going to do it for us for some strength flow. Hopefully you had some fun rolling around, playing on the ground this Wednesday evening. We are back tomorrow morning for some morning mobility, 7 a.m.